Hey, good morning. I mean, it's afternoon for you, but I think. Okay, so today we're reading poetry. I'll start with. I would like at least two people to be in. Oh yeah, I'll start with a nice one. It's called The Orange by Wendy Cope. Right, it really is no fun unless I can read it with you. Something pleasant. This one is very lovely.
I'm going to help this person at least to do the final part from my learner's permit and let them take my photo so they can send me my learner's permit card in the mail. What can I do now? I'm not one of those people that does, braids, attachments, and all these kind of things. Just like this. It's cold today, Mom. There's no wind. Yeah. It's better for us, Who have this.
Okay, so you're still in, right? Yep. Yeah, did you leave another comment? Everyone who's in, please leave a comment. Everyone who's in, please leave a comment. No. Okay, you see the poem, right? Yeah. The Orange by Wendy Cope. At lunchtime, I bought a huge orange. The size of it made us all laugh. I peeled it and shared it with Robert and Dave. They got quarters and I got a half. And that orange, it made me so happy, as ordinary things often do. Just lately, the shopping, a walk in the park, this is peace and contentment, it's new. The rest of the day was quite easy. I did all the jobs on my list, and enjoyed them and had some time over. I love you. I'm glad I exist. Right, like, just a... There's like, there aren't that many poems I can find that are about joy. I really like that one. What do you have to say about it? You heard me say the title, right? It's the Orange by Wendy Cope. Right, so like this is one of the few that are like every stanza is good. Every stanza is good. The writing's good. The simple words. There's no adjectives in this poem, and I like that. I like that there's no adjectives. So it just says, oh no, there are adjectives, right? Ordinary is an adjective. Ordinary things, right? But it's just like you kind of need that one. So there's very little adjectives. At lunchtime, I bought a huge orange. Okay, one. Okay, the size of it made us all laugh. Yeah. Yeah. So and then it says second adjective is ordinary. So there's two. Huge, ordinary. Yeah. So there's only two adjectives, which is good. Poems that are full of lots of adjectives, they're not using their words right. They're not using their words well, in my opinion. I'm going to read another poem. Do you have anything to say about this one? The second poem is really good. It's got 3 stanzas as well, right? Which is interesting. There's like another poem with 3 stanzas. You can see the poem, right? Okay, so this is called This Be the Verse by Philip Larkin. They fuck you up, your mom and dad. They may not mean to, but they do. They fill you with the faults they had and add some extra just for you. But they were fucked up in their turn by fools in old-style hats and coats, who half the time were soppy stern and half at one another's throats. Man hands on misery to man. It deepens like a coastal shelf. Get out as early as you can, and don't have any kids yourself. This is one of the best poems ever written. Right? It's so amazing. You like it? Right, so I'll tell you what I like about it, right? Please respond. Okay, so yeah, so I like the simple 3 stanzas. We start with talking about how people are messed up, and then how their parents are messed up, and it offers some sympathy for the parents. And then at the end, it says, okay, it's been like this for a long time. Misery has been handed on and down. And it's all true, right? We all know this. We all know that the only way to end misery is by not having kids, right? But we're going to do it anyway. And yeah, it's a good poem. Really great writing. Very simple writing. I'm not sure how I feel about the second stanza. Like, the word soppy stern is like, I mean, it's memorable, I guess, but it's, I don't know. It's very different from this first and last stanzas. Right, I mean, I don't like this word soppy stern, but at the very least, it's a memorable word. You got anything to say about the first two poems? Like, you want me to move on? Why do you need headphones to type? Okay, another short poem. This one doesn't rhyme. I think I like rhyming poetry more than I like non-rhyming poetry. But non-rhyming poetry can still be excellent. The difference between a rhyming poem and non-rhyming poem is that the rhyming poem, there's a sort of gravity to poems that don't rhyme. That rhyming poems don't have. Wait, that's not true, honestly. Because this be the verse, high gravity, and it rhymes, right? Like it's got this heavy subject matter. It's got pain and stuff, and it still rhymes. So, but you can use in a rhyming poem, you can like end on a rhyme, or you can end with a line that doesn't rhyme, and that can like hit hard. If you do that, I've seen that before. Right, you can rhyme the whole way and then finish with a non-rhyming thud. And that's interesting. So here's one. I'm going to be incredibly biased and only read poems that I'm really into. I think. I think I wrote like maybe one poem that I'm not a fan of. Here it is. The Committee Weighs In by Andrea Cohen. You see it? I tell my mother I won the Nobel Prize. Again, she says, which discipline this time? It's a little game we play. I pretend I'm somebody. She pretends she isn't dead. They can't see. Yeah, sure. So this one's really great. So we start with we start with a setup, a really cool, interesting setup, right? And then we finish with, oh, this is a person who, and then we say so much with so little, right? So this is a person who wants to please their mother. They want to be great, so which is why they say, I won the Nobel Prize, right? They want to be great for their parents, and they want to be great even though their mother is dead, right? They still want to be great for her, right? So you, the way your parents raise you does not leave ever. So there's a lot being said with very little words. They can't see you.
Can you please turn around and go to the desk?
You like that one? You like that one? Yep. So things that are being said. Number one, this is a person who wants to please their parents. This is a person who wants to be great. And of course, their influence, her mother's influence is still there even though she's dead, right? Lots of things being said in just very small amount of words. And I don't think there's any adjectives this time. Yeah, there's no adjectives. Yep, which is great. Another one by Andrea Cohen. Are you still in? You are still in? Is this the same string? Yeah, so there's a poem called Lit that I want to show you. It's by Enjpy. Yeah. Everyone can't be a lamplighter. Someone must be the lamp, and someone must, in bereaved rooms, sit unfathoming what it is to be lit. The language in this is so good. You gotta read it slow so that you can get the words out nice and clear, but once you figure out how to say it, it's very nice. What do you think about it? You heard the poem Lit? Yeah? It's a very short poem. I think I'll read it again. Everyone can't be a lamplighter. Someone must be the lamp. And someone must, in bereaved rooms, sit, unfathoming what it means, unfathoming what it is to be lit. Right, because normally I would say what it means in regular, so that's why I dropped that. Right, I would normally say what it means to be lit. I like this. It's not very often that I see the word bereaved in a poem. Like every word I love. Yeah. So what does it mean to be lit? What does it mean to be full? What does it mean to be happy? I guess. What does it mean to have? Maybe is it a metaphor for hope? Is it love? Is it something? I'm not sure. It's not really clear. But it's still very nicely written. Okay, I'm gonna read a longer poem this time. I found this, I think I found it at the start of the year or maybe last year. It's very good. I didn't write any of these poems. This poem Lit is by Enjpy. And the poem The Committee Weighs In is written by Enjpy as well. Okay, so here's another one. It's called Prayer for the Man Who Mugged My Father. May there be an afterlife. May you meet him there, the same age as you. May the meeting take place in a small locked room. May the bushes where you hid be there again, leaves tipped with razor blades and acid. May the rifle butt you bashed him with be in his hands. May the glass in his car window, which he smashed as he sat stopped at a red light, spike the rifle butt, and the concrete on which you'll fall. May the needles the doctors use to close his eye stab your pupils every time you hit the wall and then the floor, which will be often. May my father let you cower for a while, whimpering, "Please don't shoot me, please." May he laugh and load your gun and toss it away. Then may he take you with bare hands. May those hands which taught his son to throw a curve and drive a nail, and hold a frog, feel like cannonballs against your jaw. May his arms, which powered handstands and made their muscles jump to please me, wrap your hand and grind your face like stone. Wrap your head and grind your face like stone. May his chest thick and hairy as a bear's, feel like a bear's snapping your bones. May his feet, which showed me the fodder cake and carried me miles through the woods, feel like axes crushing your one claim to manhood as he chops you down. And when you are down and he's done with you, which will be soon, since even one-eyed, with brain damage, he's a merciful man. May the door to the room open, and let him stride away to the Valhalla he deserves. May you bleeding broken drag yourself upright. May you think the worst is over, you survived, and may still win. Then may the door open once more, and let me in. Right, so I like this. However, I feel like it's a bit too long. Like, some parts could have been cut. Like, yes, you needed to talk about, because, like, it went from, because it talked about how elements of his father and the things he likes about him, right? He talks about what he likes about his father, right? May his feet would show me the futtercake and carry me miles through the woods. Feel like axes crushing your claim to manhood, right? So he puts things he likes about his father against the attack, which is interesting, but it also makes the poem drag. Right? Still a great ending, though. I like Valhalla, the mention of Valhalla. That's nice. It makes it. I don't know. Just adding Valhalla there makes it more memorable to me. And also Valhalla is the place where great warriors go, so that's why it was used. What else can I say about it? Oh, I like the similes. I like may the hands feel like cannibals against your jaw. Right, great similes here. Great imagery. Another excellent one. This one is called In the Desert by Stephen Crane. In the desert, I saw a creature, naked, bestial, who, squatting upon the ground, held his heart in his hands, and ate of it. I said, "Is it good, friend?" "It is bitter, bitter," he answered, "but I like it, because it is bitter, and because it is my heart." Awesome writing. First big thing is, like, I like how the creature gets humanized as it goes. So we start by calling it a creature, then we refer to it as a he, then we call him a friend, right? So he gets, like, humanized as it goes on, right? Because the ending is all about his emotion, right? Yeah, and then we have like, I think these are like adjectives, like description, minimal description that really helps put you in the scene, right? And also creates a negative picture, right? We're not supposed to think positively of this, but we're still humanizing him, right? So it's a creature, naked, bestial, but then we humanize him, and then we say this is how he feels, and it's very interesting. There's two thoughts I have. One, the poem could be like about addiction, about how you just can't stop doing this thing that's bad for you, or it could be, or it could be just general bitterness that you hold on to for reasons you don't understand, right? So addiction, or like just holding on to a bitterness because it's what you're used to, because it's yours. Where would you like to share your raps? Oh, yeah. That's why I could look them up. The raps are long, though, right? They're very long raps, right? Because these rappers, they go on for like 5 minutes, a lot of them. So, I don't know if I want to read them on stream. But, I don't know. I'll see one after the poems, maybe. I'm gonna read one of the more interesting poems. It's called The Quiet World. The Quiet World by Jeffrey McDaniel. To look into each other's eyes more, and also to appease the mutes. The government has decided to allot each person exactly 167 words per day. When the phone rings, I put it to my ear without saying hello. In the restaurant, I point at chicken noodle soup. I'm adjusting well to the new way. Late at night, I call my long-distance lover, proudly say I only use 59 today. I save the rest for you. When she doesn't respond, I know she's used up all her words, so I slowly whisper, I love you, 32 and a third times. After that, we just sit on the line and listen to each other breathe. So one of my first thoughts is that his long-distance lover doesn't love him back. Because if she loved him back, she would have saved some words for him. Right, that's one of my first thoughts. She does not love him back. I don't know. It feels more like a story than a poem, right? Like the part that feels like a poem is the last stanza, right? But here it feels like this could be prose. Like this could be like a line in a novel, right? And then it becomes a poem later, sorta. But I still like it, right? Right, with some editing. The ending's nice. So just a poem about listening. No, a poem about just caring about what person says a lot, right? And really thinking about the person you're and talking to enough to save your words. And there's also like this strange whimsy of the tyrannical government taking away people's speech, which is very interesting. Oh, another poem by Wendy Cook. This one's nice. This one's very nice. Oh, you wrote the raps yourself. Oh, okay. Sorry, for some reason I didn't grasp that. Yeah, I just have to go to images instead. I don't know. I think later I'll share some poems I wrote. Would you like that? I'll share some poems and you share your raps. Okay, He Tells Her by Wendy Cope. He tells her that the earth is flat. He knows the facts, and that is that. In altercations fierce and long, she tries her best to prove him wrong. But he has learned to argue well. He calls her arguments unsound, and often asks her not to yell. She cannot win, he stands his ground. The planet goes on being round.
Is that you?
You like it? This is really good. So I remember on Reddit, because this poem was on Reddit, people were talking about how, oh, the guy is such an asshole, the guy is like, he's terrible, he's like all the religious fundamentalists. But I want to hope that Wendy Cope was thinking something different. Like, obviously, I think what she's trying to say is that the two of them really suck, right? Because it says, in altercations fierce and long, right? So these two are both not great to be around. And I think that was the point, right? Like, they don't matter, and the planet goes on being round. Right, I like that. But some people are talking about how it's misogyny, how it's like pointing out like, oh, the crazy feminists. But I don't know, I'd like to think that they're just both terrible. Because there's one line, in altercations fierce and long. Okay, so here's a poem that I discovered earlier than most of these. I'm not gonna show it though. Right, so I don't know what Wendy Cope was thinking, but I like to think that she wanted to make them both look bad. Okay, this is called A Noiseless Patient Spider by Walt Whitman. A noiseless patient spider. I marked where on a little promontory it stood, isolated. Marked how to explore the vacant vast surrounding. It launched forth filament, 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 out of itself. Ever unreeling them, ever tirelessly speeding them. And you, oh my soul, where you stand, surrounded, detached, in measureless oceans of space, ceaselessly musing, venturing, throwing, seeking the spheres to connect them, till the bridge you will need be formed, till the ductile anchor hold, till the gossamer thread you fling catch somewhere. Oh my soul. This is an amazing poem. Oh man, the language is so good. And it's just so nice to say. So it sounds like it's about life, right? It's about like learning, discovering. It's about being isolated or being alone or like just trying to find something, right? To the bridge you will need be formed, to the ductile anchor hold, to the gossamer thread you fling catch somewhere, right? So maybe like a person or truth or something you're looking for. Very nice. Very pretty. Do you want me to read it again? Or that's one of my favorites. I found it on TED. Right. Yeah, so you see the video there, right? I wanted to give you a link here, but I mean, you're in a stream, so it doesn't make sense to give you a link here. But here it is. A poetic experiment. So there's 3 different animations for this one poem, and it was very nice. A noiseless patient spider. A noiseless patient spider. I mocked where on a little promontory it's... Sorry. A noiseless patient spider. I mocked where on a little promontory it stood, isolated. Mocked how to explore the vacant vast surrounding. It launched forth filament, 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 out of itself. Ever unreeling them, ever tirelessly speeding them. And you, oh my soul, where you stand, surrounded, detached, in measureless oceans of space, ceaselessly musing, venturing, throwing, seeking the spheres to connect them, till the bridge you will need be formed, till the ductile anchor hold, till the gossamer thread you fling catch somewhere. Oh, my soul. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to show another one by Stephen Crane. I Saw a Man Pursuing the Horizon by Stephen Crane. I saw a man pursuing the horizon. Round and round they sped. I was disturbed at this. I accosted the man. It is futile, I said. You can never. You lie, he cried, and ran on. Very simple stuff. It seems to be about, like, just the will, right? The will to keep going. I like it. I saw it on Reddit. Right, so it sounds like the will to keep going, despite what other people are saying. Right, that's all I can think of. Okay. I'm gonna read you an absurdist poet, I think. His poems are very interesting. Right, I think he's an absurdist poet. Some of the most interesting writing I've seen. Let's go through it. Okay, this is called Angels by Russell Edson. They have little use. They are best as objects of torment. Let me try again, yeah. They have little use. They are best as objects of torment. No government cares what you do with them. Like birds, and yet so human, they mate by briefly looking at the other. Their eggs are like white jelly beans. Sometimes they have been said to inspire a man to do more with his life than he might have. But what is there for a man to do with his life? They burn beautifully with a blue flame. When they cry out, it is like the screech of a tiny hinge. The cry of a bat. No one hears it. I like this one. At first you're gonna be like baffled by it, like, wait, what's this about? You know, which I think everyone has that reaction. I came to the conclusion that the poem is about art itself. Right, so art, is something that the government doesn't care about. Many years, like, the government did not care about art. It's not funded. It was just a thing that people do. And then it says they have the power to inspire a man, right? Art inspires people. And no one hears the art, I guess. I don't know. But I guess there's multiple different ways you can hear this. Like, maybe, because my first thought was that it's about art. Now I'm thinking maybe it's about someone who's being tortured or something. When they cry out, it's like the screech of a tiny hinge, the cry of a bat. No one hears it. Maybe it's the voice of the marginalized, or something. So I got two things. The first one I thought was art. The first thing I thought is the voice of the marginalized. It's pretty cool, right? Yeah. So I'm going to share another one. This one keeps on getting shared on Reddit, like, a lot. Like, I've seen this at least, I think this has been posted on Reddit at least 4-5 times. Yeah. Yeah, this one's been posted at least 5 times on Reddit. Let's see. Okay. The poem is called Letter to the Person Who Carved Their Initials. Wait. Letter to the person who carved his initials into the oldest living longleaf pine in North America. Tell me what it's like to live without curiosity, without awe, to sail on clear water, rolling your eyes at the kefleebs swaying beneath you, ignoring the flicker of mermaid scales in the mists, looking at the world and feeling only boredom, to stand on the precipice of some wild valley. I was going to say grand valley. To stand on the precipice of some wild valley, the eagles circling, a herd of caribou booming below, and to yawn with indifference. To discover something primordial and holy, to have the smell of the earth welcome you to everywhere, to take it all in, and then to reach for your knife. Excellent writing. Beautiful. Right, so there's like 3 interpretations I have for this poem. Interpretation 1, it's about how people don't care about what they say is beautiful. Right, people talk about how nature is beautiful, but they don't really care about nature. Right, they're not in awe of it. You know, it's like, yeah, nature is great, but there's no great appreciation. Right, we're only focused on ourselves, which is why he carved his initial into the tree. Right, he's not interested in the tree. He's interested in the fact that he saw the tree. Right, so humans lack an interest in nature, pollution, and an interesting interpretation. Another one I thought, wait, was this me or someone else? I think it may have come from somewhere else, someone else, right? So someone said that the poem is kind of like what white people did to Native Americans, right? They come into this great place, and then they stab the Native Americans to death, right? They hurt the Native Americans. Right, they hurt this thing that's primordial and holy. It's been there forever, and then they just stab them, right? Or like rape a Native American woman, right? Because a knife is like a phallic symbol. Was that something that someone else said? Probably, yeah. Yeah, I think someone said, yeah, the knife is a phallic symbol. It's like about raping the Native American woman. You want me to read it again? It's very nice. Great writing. There aren't that many poems that have you from the start, like all the way through. I mean, all the poems that I picked, or at least most of them, right? They're all poems that have you from the start till the end, which is why I like them. I'm gonna read Emily Dickinson, even though I don't really like her, because you might be interested, even if you don't like her. Right? I don't like Emily Dickinson that much, but this could make you happy, so. I'll be back in a minute. going back to the previous poem, so like man doesn't care about land. He cares about the fact that he cares about like his name on the document, which is and that's an interesting way to write it. Right, which is why it says, imagine going to this great place and feeling only boredom. Imagine having no curiosity, where it's like you only care about the fact that you found it, not the fact that it exists. So, Emily Dickinson, success is counted sweetest. Success is counted sweetest by those who ne'er succeed. To comprehend a nectar requires sorest need. No one of all the pauper host who took the flag today can tell the definition so clear of victory. As he defeated dying, on whose forbidden ear the distant strains of triumph rest agonized and clear. This is one of the best things she's ever written. Maybe I'm just simple-minded, I don't know, but I like it when she doesn't use too many dashes. I like it when she does something simple that is easy to grasp and is relatable. Maybe I'm just simple-minded, but I like relatable stuff, right? So everyone knows what it's like to lose. Everyone knows what it's like to be in great need of something. So yeah, so I like this one. Maybe I'm just simple, but whatever. I like this simple writing. Great stuff. Another Emily Dickinson poem. Ooh, I had something else in mind. Did I write it down? Ooh, I had this poem in mind, but I forgot it. I guess I'll just drop it now. So this one's great. I like this one. I'll come back to Emily Dickinson later. Poem is called I Confess. Yeah. I Confess by Alison Luderman. I stalked her in the grocery store. Her crown of snowy braids held in place by a great silver clip. Her erect bearing radiating tenderness, watching the way she placed yogurt and avocados in her basket, beaming peace like the North Star. I wanted to ask, what aisle did you find your serenity in? Do you know how to be married for 50 years? Or how to live alone? Excuse me for interrupting, but you seem to possess some knowledge that makes the earth turn and burn on its axis. But we don't request such things from strangers nowadays. So I said, I love your hair. Great writing here, I love it. So I like it. So shopping is something that we do every day. We're shopping for things that we need, right? And people need serenity. They need, right? We're shopping for things we want and we need every day, right? So we need serenity. We need, oh yeah, sorry. We need serenity, we need knowledge. We need to know how to be married for 50 years or how to live alone, right? So that's stuff that we're shopping for. That's something that we need. And the reason why she asks her because she beams peace like the North Star, right? And something that I've thought of before is you should never accept advice from people who are not happy, right? Someone isn't happy, don't ask them advice. Look for happy people and ask them what they know. What do I do? So she finds this woman who's older, she's happier, and she's like, what do I do? And but people don't do that anymore. People don't ask their elders for information. So she just says, I love your hair. Excellent writing. I love the beginning. I confess, I stalked her in the grocery store. Yeah, great start. Um, that could be a great beginning to a book. I confess, I stalked her. Oh, I don't think I've done this yet. Now for my favorite poets, Langston Hughes. He's really great. So most of his poems rhyme, which I like. I like rhyming poems. But all my, I like rhyming poems, but I have lots of favorites that are non-rhyming. So there's a mixture. Langston Hughes, two things. Two things possess the power. Two things deserve the name. Two things can reawaken perpetually the flame. Two things are full of wonder. Two things cast off all shame. One is known by the name of death, and the other has no name, except the name each gives it, in no single mouth the same. Right, so you have to find this thing that's going to cast off your shame and make you feel better and have power, right? So for me, that is, I'm not sure if I found that yet. He's a great writer. Um, I'll read the poem again. Two things possess the power, two things deserve the name. Two things can reawaken perpetually the flame. Two things are full of wonder, two things cast off all shame. One is known by the name of death, and the other has no name, except the name. Right, so let me just go through his work. There's this poem, I can't remember the title, but it's really good, so I'm looking for it. Cross by Langston Hughes. My old man's a white old man, and my old mother's black. If I ever curse my white old man, I take my crack. If ever I curse my black old mother, and wish she were in hell, I'm sorry for that evil wish, and now I wish her well. My old man died in a fine big house, my ma died in a shack. I wonder where I'm gonna die, being neither white nor black. It sounds like his mom was a slave, or was she just poor? Right, but like, how many rich white men with poor black women? I don't know. Still nice writing, right? It brings you back to that time period, right? It makes you think of what they were thinking. So it's a time capsule. So it's a time. By Langston Hughes. Sometimes a crumb falls from the tables of joy. Sometimes a bone is flung. To some people love is given, to others only heaven. Right? So, so he doesn't always rhyme. This one's nice. So it basically means some people have things, and some people die without anything, right? And they go to heaven, right? Wait, is the stream over? Oh yeah, the stigma of mixed race couples, yeah. Wait. I mean, it didn't really mention stigma. It just said, I wonder where I'm gonna die. Right, so it's the thoughts. I mean, you can think about the stigma of mixed race couples, but it's just a person thinking about his identity. It seems. He's thinking about his identity. Right. I'm going to read the poem again. Sometimes a crumb falls from the tables of joy. Sometimes a bone is flung. To some, love is given. To others, only heaven. I love my friend. He went away from me. There's nothing more to say. The poem ends, soft as it began. I love my friend. This one's good. It's just self. I love my friend. I love my friend. There's also this one, To a Dead Friend by Langston Hughes. The moon still sends its mellow light through the purple blackness of the night. The morning star is palely bright before the dawn. The sun still shines just as before. The rose still grows beside my door, but you have gone. The sky is blue and the robin sings. The butterflies dance on rainbow wings, though I am sad. In all the earth no joy can be. Happiness comes no more to me, for you are dead. Oh, this is the one. This is the one. It uses rhyme so well, right? And it ends on a thud, right? It ends on a non-rhyming thud. And it's just brilliant. Perfect way to end. Right. You get what I'm saying? Like, it ends on a non-rhyming thud. And which it makes you think about it more. So, great use of rhyme. And like a rhyme. I think this is the one I was thinking of. Wait, no, I think I was thinking of something else. But this inspired me to think of my own poem. I was thinking of writing a poem, but then I forgot what I was gonna write, and it was gonna be like similar to this. The Red Cockatoo. Sent as a present from Aman. A red cockatoo, colored like the peach tree blossom, speaking with the speech of men, and they did to it what it was always done, to the learned and eloquent. They took a cage with style bars and shut it up inside. I want to read, I want to see it on a website. So this poem, I'm going to read it again. This poem was written hundreds of years ago. I think it was written in the year 30, right? 3080 or something. So, written by poetrry. I can't pronounce the name. Right? By this person. And I think it was written in like 3080, like a long time ago. Sent as a present from Annam, a red cockatoo, colored like the peach tree blossom, speaking with the speech of men. And they did to it what it is always done, to the learned and eloquent. They took a cage with style bars and shut it up inside. I remember the first time I read this, and the first thought I had was, school is boring. Right, I'm not sure what was going on in China, because this is a Chinese person, to make them write this. Don't know Chinese history, but the only thing I can think of is school is boring. But, so this sounds like the oppression of the intelligent, right? Silencing people who question things. Right, who can like talk and speak out. That's what it sounds like. Okay, this one, I don't really like this one, but it's like, it was so interesting I couldn't not bring it in. This one is called This Is Just to Say, William Carlos Williams. This is just to say, I've eaten the plums that were in the icebox, and which you were probably saving for breakfast. Forgive me, they were delicious, so sweet and so cold. Right? Like, it was so, like, striking that I had to share it, even though I don't really like it that much. I'm not sure why he wrote this. I would like to know why he wrote it. I'll come back to a poem that I do like. This is called Scarecrow by Mark Venner. I think it was published in a magazine. There was like 2 versions I saw of this poem, and I'm not sure which the original is. Right, Are you going outside here? Are you going outside here? No. Are you awesome? Dream. Are you going? Okay. Scarecrow by Mark Venner. In the nook of the In the nook of the evening, I gather blackbirds on my shoulders and curse your name, Dorothy, Dotty, Doll, whatever it is you like to be called these days. When you left me here in the town, drunks and the mice, and deep time, with a traffic in my head, hone for a hat, and an idiot's brain, bitch, I thought that I might die. Thought I might go mad from this thinking. But this morning, as the sun cracked like an egg above the sycamore trees, my brain sketched a new picture of you. Older now. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just not reading right now. I'm not reading well. You want me to start again? Yeah. Yeah. Mark Vennersk. In the nook of the evening, I gather blackbirds on my shoulders and curse your name. Dorothy, Dottie, Doll, whatever it is you like to be called these days. When you left me here to the town drunks and the mice, and deep time, with a traffic cone for a hat, and an idiot's brain, they were mad from all this thinking. But this morning, as the sun cracked like an egg above the sycamore trees, my brain sketched a new picture of you. Older now, 80 pounds heavier, waiting on tables in some greasy bar, 3 kids at home, boyfriend in prison, 5-digit credit card debt. Then later, locked inside a bathroom stall, tears streaking down your cheeks, clicking your heels as fast as you can, but going nowhere. This poem was great. I like the ending, especially. The second half is good. Like, 3 kids at home, debt. It just flows off the tongue really fast. Although now my throat is dry. I think that's what the problem is. I saw it on Reddit. It was published in a magazine. I like poems, right? Like most of the poems I'm into, right? Of course, they're not going to contain a moral. They're not going to contain a message. It's just human emotion, and this is human emotion, right? I like it. Okay, saying that, okay, I'm gonna present a poem. This one does have a message. For a poem with a message, it's fairly good. The Man in the Glass by Peter Dale Rimbro. What's SR? Is that Sergeant? No. Yeah. Yeah. When you get what you want in your struggle for self, and the world makes you king for a day. Ugh. That's annoying. Yeah, the things on the side, that's annoying. Let me fix that. When you get what you want in your struggle for self, and the world makes you king for a day, just go to the mirror and look at yourself, and see what that man has to say. For it isn't your father, your mother, or wife whose judgment upon you must pass. That fellow whose verdict counts most in your life is the one staring back in the glass. He's the fellow to please, never mind of the rest, for he's with you clear to the end. And you've passed your most difficult, dangerous test if the man in the glass is your friend. You may fool the whole world down the pathway of years, and get pats on the back as a pass, but your final reward will be heartache and tears if you cheated the man in the glass. Right, so pass glass, or pass the glass. Pass glass, yeah. Oh, wait. Ooh, that's a flaw in my opinion. Right, so you rhyme pass with glass twice. And that is kind of annoying. Right, still a cute poem. I like it. Right, that's a problem with me. Rhyming the same thing twice. You want me to read it again? Yeah. I like it. I like the flow. When you get what you want, you struggle for self, and the world makes you king for a day. Just go to the mirror and look at yourself, and see what that man has to say. For it is your father or mother or wife, whose judgment upon you must pass. Whose judgment upon you must pass. The fellow whose verdict counts most in your life is the one staring back from the glass. He's the fellow to please, never mind all the rest, for he's with you, clear to the end, and you pass your most difficult, dangerous test, if the man in the glass is your friend. You may fool the whole world down the pathway of years, and get pats on the back as you pass, but your final reward will be heartache and tears if you cheated the man in the glass. These are probably like the best last lines, right? Like all my favorite poems have good last lines. I think a good last line is more important than a good beginning, because it's what you finish with. Yeah. But your final reward will be heartache and tears if you cheated the man in the glass. Okay, another absurdist poem by Russell Edson. The Fool. Yeah. There was a man who found 2 leaves and came indoors, holding them out, saying to his parents that he was a tree. To which they said, then go into the yard and do not grow in the living room, as your roots may ruin the carpet. He said, I was fooling, I'm not a tree. And he dropped his leaves. But his parents said, look, it is fall. I don't know. I like this one, even though it has no point, but I like it. It sounds like something that, it's like Alice in Wonderland. It's like charming like that. I'm glad I could share it.